Whoa, what's up, everybody? Look, it's Fred, FanView, Real Fans Talk Sports. Listen, subscribe to the FanView Live page if you haven't already have it. Listen, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, the like button, share the page, man. Listen, got to talk about. What this conversation this morning is about, it's college football. We had this on our show, if you guys subscribe to the New Orleans Talk Network, me and G Sports had a conversation about college football, college athletics, and the new bill that passed in California, and how positive that is going forward for college football. Because it's starting in 2023, college football, the NCAA has a deadline for athletes to be compensated for their likeness, their brand, and so what have you, which is all great things. But it still doesn't address the real issue in college football. And the real issue in college football is that college football athletes should no longer have to wait 3 years for eligibility for the NFL draft. They shouldn't have to wait no more. The real issue with college football is that college football players should be eligible after their sophomore year. Not their redshirt sophomore year, their true sophomore year. We're starting to notice a growing trend, and it started in 2007. And when 2007 happened, what happened was college football received its first sophomore Heisman Trophy winner, which was Tim Tebow. He was the first sophomore to ever win that award. Typically, that was a junior or a senior award. No sophomore has ever won it. He was the first one to do it in 2007. And since then, since 2007, the past 12 years, 6 sophomores and freshmen have won the award. Now I'm going to go down the list here. 2007, Tim Tebow award, he was a sophomore. The following year, Sam Bradford, sophomore, won the award. 2009, Mark Ingram, sophomore, won the award. 2010, Cam Newton's a junior. 2011, Robert Griffin III was a junior. 2012, Johnny Football was a freshman. 2013, Jameis Winston was a freshman. Then we had 2014, Marcus Mariota. 2015, Derrick Henry. 2016, Lamar Jackson, sophomore. 2017, Baker Mayfield. 2018, Kyler Murray. 6 of the 12 Heisman Trophy winners have been sophomores or freshmen. What are we starting to see? These guys are better athletes than what athletes were ever in the past. I watched Nick Bosa not play nearly a down for Ohio State and became the second overall pick in the 2019 draft. It did stop him. This junior year did not stop him from becoming the second overall pick. He shut it down. I watched Leonard Fournette put the college football nation on notice his sophomore year campaign. His junior year, he was predominantly hurt. He barely played a down for LSU. 4th overall pick of the Jacksonville Jaguars. The real issue in college football isn't kids not getting able to get compensated for their brand or likeness. The problem is some of these kids are no longer amateurs after their sophomore year. They should be eligible to be a pro. Bottom line. There was nothing else you need to see for Leonard Fournette after his sophomore year at LSU. Nothing else you need to see. There was nothing else you need to see from Nick Bosa after his sophomore year at Ohio State. Right now, I'm watching 2 college football players right now, in Grant Delpit and Jared Judy. Jared Judy doesn't have to show any NFL scout that he's the best receiver in the country. He didn't need a junior. Grant Delpit didn't need a junior at LSU to be the best safety in any draft. Shit, for crying out, Tua, the quarterback for Alabama, after his sophomore campaign, did not need to watch anymore. His junior year is not going to stop any GM or any NFL team from selecting him, possibly first overall. This season, it doesn't matter. Now, for some players, like a Joe Burrows, needing all these years of eligibility helps him. Tua don't need all this year. He should have been eligible to be a pro after his sophomore year. Right now, I'm watching Trevor Lawrence of Clemson. I'm telling y'all right now, there isn't a GM that's saying to themselves they wouldn't take this kid in the top 5 of the NFL draft if he was eligible this year. Junior year is not necessary. It's just not. The problem we're having is in college football is that these guys, some guys after their sophomore year, should no longer be amateurs. They shouldn't be no longer competing for a scholarship. I'm watching kids right now playing their junior year, and trust me, they're not playing for the college playoffs. They're going to shut it down. And I'm all for every one of those kids who do. I watched Davion Clowney at South Carolina in a bowl game against Michigan in his sophomore year. And after you watch that bowl game, you say to yourself, that kid doesn't need nothing down in college football. He was the best overall prospect. His junior year was not needed. It wouldn't stop Tim from that kid from being the first overall pick unless a quarterback was being taken. This is the real issue with college football. Is eligibility. These kids should be eligible earlier. Again, prior to 2007, there wasn't a Heisman Trophy winner who won that award as a sophomore. That was a junior/senior award. In the past 12 years, 6 of the 12 were freshmen or sophomores classifications. Jameis Winston didn't need his redshirt sophomore year to not be the first overall pick. No one's stopping that. This is what we're seeing. Things are different now in this sport. I've watched guys, I know some people are going to make the argument that, man, if these guys came out as a quarterback came out as a true sophomore, he's going to flop. Well, there are teams who are taking quarterbacks and they're letting these guys sit. There have been guys who had success at this NFL level who didn't start their first years. I watched Carson Palmer get picked in 2003 draft, first overall, sat behind John Kitna, and became an all-pro in his league. I watched Pat Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith for the Kansas City Chiefs, and now, in the first 20 starts in his NFL career, had 6,800 yards passing, 60 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions. Best ever start from any quarterback in the history of this game. Phillip Rivers sat his first year behind Drew Brees. Hall of Famer. Picked 4th overall. Listen, man, these guys do not need 3 years removed from high school. These guys can play, the guys should be eligible as a sophomore. There are a lot of players after their sophomore year should no longer be eligible to be an amateur. They should be able to play at the next level. We already noticed in MLB and NBA. We know half of these kids can play out of high school and at the pro level. There are a lot of these kids out of high school and Major League Baseball, and all of a sudden they go to the minors and they could be the next Bryce Harper. Don't need college. It is what it is. I've watched too many kids. I'm letting you know right now, Jonathan Taylor out of Wisconsin right now does not need this junior. He should have been eligible last year. He's not shown any NFL scout already what we didn't already know. That he's the best back in the country. He's the best back in the country last year. Travis Etienne out of Clemson, his junior year, he should have not needed. He should have been eligible. He led the league. He led college football with all players of 24 touchdowns. You're watching him dominate again. Certain guys don't need this junior. They just don't. It's a waste. That's my video, guys. Listen, like the page, subscribe to FanView Live if you're on YouTube. Hit the like button, hit the notification bell. If you're on Facebook, hit the like button. Again, it's your boy Fred, FanView, Real Fans Talk Sports. I'm out.